Hello and welcome to my review of the Termagants for Tyranids for Warhammer 40,000. Now this box set will cost you £27.50 and consists of 79 plastic components and comes with 10 28.5mm bases and a 40mm round hex hull base, of course, for the Ripper Swarm. £27.50, it's not too bad, but I would have preferred like £30 for 20. Tyranids are a horde army, of course, and you'd expect to run these in a unit of 20. When I first saw the Termagants be revealed for Leviathan, and then I saw that they would be available in a separate set with different weapons, I immediately predicted that it would just be the monopose kit from Leviathan, but with some extra weapons and options included. And I wasn't wrong. That's exactly what these are. You've got I say technically two sprues from the Leviathan set, which includes the bodies, the other side of the bodies, the legs, and the flesh borer weapons from the Leviathan set, as well as the Ripper Swarm, but includes an extra sprue that includes all of the Devour weapons, the Spine Fists, and a couple of the extra weapons like the Shard Launcher, the Spike Rifle, and the Strangle Web. So 3 extra different weapons there, and I'll go through those in the rules a bit later on. Speaking of which, the format of this review, I'll look at these Termagants. I won't look at each of them individually because I did that in their other review where they were just equipped with their Termagant Devourer weapons, but I will single out the larger weapons in this set. Then I'll go through the spare parts, of which there are, to be fair, a lot of spare parts. There really are. It mainly consists of, you know, all of the Termagant Devour weapons and the Spine Fists as well. Then I'll go through some size comparisons with Hormagaunts and, of course, Gene Stealers, as well as other larger creatures, and a couple from the Leviathan set. And then right at the end I'll go through all of the rules, and I will talk about all of the different ranged weapons that the Termagants can be equipped with. So first things first, let's have a look at these. So as I said before, these are exactly the same Termagants as you find in the Leviathan box set. The only change, of course, is they've got their flesh borer weapons. I've equipped 7 of mine with the flesh borers because they are very different to the Devourer weapons right here that come in the Leviathan set. I wanted them to look different, and they do with this weapon, so that's great. That means I've got 10 with one set and 10 with the other. Well, I say 10 with the other. I've actually equipped 3 of them with their sort of heavy weapons, which you can do, you know, if you've got a unit of 10, one of them can have this certain weapon, one of them can have another, and one of them can have the other as well. It's not like you've got 10, you can only have 1 heavy weapon. You can have the 3, but you can't have 3 of this particular weapon. So I've, you know, gone through that. And this one here, I believe, is a Strangle Web. I think this is a Strangle Web weapon. We'll go through the rules of that one. I think this is the Spike Rifle. I mean, it's rifle shaped, it's long. And then I think this one here is the Shard Launcher, and I think it's a Shard Launcher. It looks very similar to those weapons that are on the Barb Gaunts, because they are equipped with Barb Launchers. So yeah, I think it just makes sense that this is a Shard Launcher. So they're the 3 kind of unique weapons you get in the set. You don't get any more than those 3, you just get the 3. You get the Spine Fists, you get the Flesh Borers, and you get the Devourers as well. So a multitude of weapons there. 6 different weapons, in fact. Of course, you're getting the Ripper Swarm, which is exactly the same as from the Leviathan set. You know, it is 2 pairs of them that are, you know, connected together. not as good as the one that comes with the Hormagaunt set, I think. And apart from that, you know, if you've picked up the Termagants from the Leviathan set, you're going to know what you're going to be getting with these Termagants. They are very quick and easy to build. If you've noticed, you might not have noticed, I haven't removed any of the mold lines on these. I might give them a quick cleanup at some point, but they're so small, you're barely going to notice them. I've cleaned the Hormagaunts and the Gene Stealers, but not these. These are so kind of, you know, tedious and samey for me to do that. Yeah, I haven't done that right now. Maybe, but I will do before I spray them and paint them, of course, which will be in November. Let's have a look at the spare parts. So here are all the spare parts, and Games Workshop were kind enough also to give me a spare 28.5mm base, I think. And look, as you can see, there are still flesh borers, there are multiple spine fists. I think you do actually get 20 spine fists in total. You get the Devourers as well. So yeah, lots and lots of different options there. I don't know whether you could use them for anything else. If you have got the Leviathan Termagants and you haven't built them yet, you are in for a treat. I'll tell you that right now, because you can equip yours with the Devourers or the Spine Fists, because, you know, it works, because this kit is from the Leviathan box set. So yeah, in hindsight, I probably wouldn't have built the Termagants, but then you would have waited until now to get a review of, you know, the Termagant unit. So I guess that's a plus side of me doing the review earlier. But they're all the spare parts, a lot, definitely way more than the Gene Stealers and way more than the Hormagaunt set. So size comparisons then. I'll just compare them to some similar sized miniatures. So they're the Hormagaunts, very, very similar. And then I'll give you it compared to a Gene Stealer as well. So as you can see, comparing both of the Hormagaunts and the Termagants, very, very similar. Just the Hormagaunts are a bit more lupine, a bit more, well, they're faster, of course, and they've got the melee weapons, you know, the claws instead of the, sorry, the talons instead of the ranged weapon. And then compared to the Gene Stealer, which is on a bigger base, a bigger creature, but still sort of infantry unit. Then compared to some larger units, we've got the Tyranid Prime, which is going to you know, stand above them all. I've got a Swarm Lord. We could even throw in a Screamer Killer Carnifex, and then a Norn Assimilator as well. So yeah, they're definitely one of the smaller units of Tyranids. Not as small as the Neurocytes. Sorry, that camera angle's rubbish. So there you go, that's a better camera angle. But yeah, they're one of the smaller units for Tyranids. Essentially the same size as the Hormagaunts. They seem to be a bit bigger than the Hormagaunts just because they've got those guns. They're nowhere near as small as the Neurocyte. They're nowhere near as small as the Neurogaunts though. But they're definitely one of the smaller units of a Tyranid force. If I just now compare them to some Imperial units, so I have the Ballistus Dreadnought right there, which is going to squish them all. Got a Terminator, which will just bat them away. And then we've got the usual three minis, which includes a Space Marine, Primaris and Sly Marbo. Yeah, compared to a Terminator, for instance, yeah, they're half the size of a Terminator. Compared to a Legacy Space Marine though, their torso height, Sly Marbo, they're smaller, which is good. And then compared to a Primaris, yeah, they're a fair bit smaller, maybe like waist height. It's going to be interesting to see them more in the upcoming Space Marine 2 video game. Can't wait to be destroying these in the game. But yeah, that's where they stand up. They're going to be a small unit, infantry sized. But as I say, best fielding them in units of 20 or more. Okay, this is my part of the review where I will go through all of the rules for the Termagants. You'll find these Termagants in your Tyranid 10th edition codex, nestled between the Hormagaunts and the Tyranid Warriors for some reason. Their points cost will set you back 60 points for 10 models or 120 points for 20, meaning they are cheaper than Hormagaunts. So one of the cheaper units in the Tyranid force. Of course, you can you know, buy a Ripper Swarm for them, which is 15 points for one model, 30 for 2, or 45 for 3. So their stat line reads: they're a movement of 6 inches, toughness 3, save of 5+, 1 wound, leadership 8+, objective control 2. How does that compare to the Hormagaunts, for instance? Well, the Hormagaunts are faster at 10-inch movement, but they have exactly the same stat line for everything else, which, you know, leads me to believe they are pretty much Termagants, but faster and with no bioweapons. Now, this is where it gets interesting, because Termagants do have a lot of ranged weapons. The unit composition is the same as Hormagaunts, between 10 and 20, and every model is equipped with flesh borer, chitinous claws and teeth. So they already come with a flesh borer. Let me explain what a flesh borer is first of all. It's an assault weapon. It's a range of 18 inches. It's 1 attack, ballistic skill 4+, strength 5, AP 0, damage 1. It's nothing to write home about, you know. It's got 50-50 chance of hitting. It's only 1 shot. It's strength 5, no AP. Okay, you know, that does mean that their effective range is 24 inches though. All models in this unit can each have their flesh borers replaced with 1 Termagant Devourer. Termagant Devourer is the same range, it's 18 inches, but it loses that assault rule. This time it has 2 shots, ballistic skill 4+, strength is 4, AP 0, damage 1. So you're getting 1 extra shot there for 1 less strength. All models in this unit can each have their flesh borer replaced with 1 Termagant Spine Fist. So the Termagant Spine Fist, they're essentially assault pistol twin linked. Their range is 12 inches, so still effective range of 18, but this time they get 2 shots, ballistic skill 4+, their strength drops all the way down to 3 though, AP 0 and damage 1. So, you know, you're removing the 6-inch range that the Devourer gives you, but you are adding twin linked and pistol, but you're also dropping your strength all the way down to 3, so it might not be worth it. You know, if you've got 10 of them, of course, you know, you're going to be getting 20 shots there still. Now the heavy weapon options. So for every 10 models in this unit, 1 model's ranged weapon can be replaced with 1 shard launcher. It's a blast heavy weapon. It's only 18 inches range though. It's attacks of D3, so statistically you are going to get, so probability you are going to get 2 shots off it. Ballistic skills 4+, strength 5, AP 0, damage 1. Not the best. I would have liked an AP -1 with that. Another option is for every 10 models in this unit, 1 model's ranged weapon can be replaced with 1 spike rifle. A spike rifle, it's a heavy weapon again. It's a 24-inch range this time, so a bit further range. It's only 1 shot. Its ballistic skill is 4+, strength is 4, but this time it is AP -1, damage 1. Third option, for every 10 models in this unit, 1 model's ranged weapon can be replaced with 1 strangle web. Now, strangle web, it's an assault, devastating wounds, torrent weapon, so pretty much a flamer. It's a range of 18 inches, D6 attacks, ballistic skills nothing because it's, you know, gonna already hit. Strength is only 2 though, AP 0, damage 1. So that's the weakest out of all of them. Yes, it's devastating wounds and torrent, but its strength is only 2. And they're all of the 3 big main weapons. You don't have to take all of them, you know, you can take one of them if you wish. I think one of the best ones is that spike rifle, even though it is a heavy weapon. You know, if you've equipped them all with Termagant Devourers, then, you know, that might play in your style of just firing off that spike rifle at the reduced ballistic skill. Abilities: Synapse, Skulking Horrors. Once per turn, when an enemy unit ends a normal, advance or fallback move within 9 inches of this unit, if this unit is not within engagement range of 1 or more enemy units, it can make a normal move of up to D6. That's pretty nice. You know, it can just make an extra move, D6 inches. Unit composition: 10 to 20 Termagants. Every model is equipped with flesh borer, chitinous claws and teeth. I didn't mention chitinous claws and teeth, but I'll mention them now. They are a melee weapon. 1 attack, weapon skill 4+, strength 3, AP 0, damage 1. So you're only getting 1 attack with these, so I would avoid putting them in close combat because you're only going to tie them up. That's what the Hormagaunts are for. Their best use is using those ranged weapons, those 18-inch weapons. Some of them have 2 attacks, some of them have a good strength. So you're best off getting these Termagants up close and firing off their weapons, and then moving on to something else, and obviously using their objective control as well. Unlike the Termagants, where you will just throw as many of these Termagants as possible in melee into your enemy. And that's all I've got to say about the Termagants. What do you guys think? I think it is a bit odd that they've just used the Leviathan set here, you know, the miniatures from that set, but you know, why wouldn't they, if they'd already created this set just to include a different set of weapons that you can easily add to them. They're all right miniatures. I do prefer the Termagant and of course the Genestealer sets over this though, mainly because of the poses and the sense of movement and lethality that a lot of those miniatures evoke with their poses. But what do you guys think of the Termagants? Do you think that they should have had more poses, more posability, more options, and do you think they should have come in a box of 20? Please do put your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. It'd be great to hear from you. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for watching. For the Norn Queen.